What's up, guys? Welcome to our week 4 preview and week 3 recap. Let's dive into standings. All right, let's go top down. Evan coming at 3-0. The defending champ has not skipped a beat. Anna, another team from last year's playoff run, 3-0. Carter, 2-1. Tito, 2-1. Kyle, 2-1. And our sixth spot, the final spot in the playoffs if they were to start today, Carson at 2-1. So that's one, two, three, four returning people from our playoffs last year in our top six. I thought Anna would be here. I thought Carter would be here, and I liked Tito's team a bit too at the beginning of the season. But what do I know? Because I am all the way down here at 0-3 at our 12th spot. Matthew is just ahead of me in the 11th spot at 0-3. Aiden 1-2. Pierce 1-2. My brother Chris 1-2, and Ivan 1-2 got a big win last week. It is week 4 already. After this week, we'll be for the way done with the fantasy season, which is crazy to think already. It's flying by. I may be 0-3, but I've gone into every matchup thinking I've got a good chance to win, and I'm confident, but things aren't panning out. But this week is another new week. I've got Drake May. He's got Kyler playing tonight. He's got Trey Benson playing tonight. And holy fuck, he's got Ken Walker playing tonight. So that's actually all news to me except for the Ken Walker part. So, this is live reaction of me kind of being very nervous. I think Trey Benson will have a good night. I don't expect shit out of Kyler. Just being honest. Ken Walker could erupt. Expected to play Thursday. That would be awesome. Charbonnet, if you could get in there. I don't know what his hairline is doing over here or what that's all about, but Charbonnet could play. That would really help my odds, I think. From my side of the field, also he's got Puka, which is frightening. My side of the field, I need Henry to play like my number one pick. No more of this fumbling the ball shit. 3 straight weeks with a fumble. Didn't draft him to do that. I drafted him to get me 30 points. But I digress. James Cook, keep playing lights out. Igbuka, he'll be the wide receiver 1 this week on his team, so that's sick. And I'm mixing it up by benching Chase Brown. He earned it. So, Cortland Sutton, welcome to the lineup. He probably should have been in my lineup pretty much every week, but we're trying to figure things out over here. Moving on to our next matchup, Ivan and Anna. Should be a good game. 2 good fantasy quarterbacks going at it. I think Caleb Williams is like, QB3 on the season, which is, surprising, I'd say. Even better than Jalen Hurts at number 5. Jonathan Taylor's nuts right here. I think Anna may have been just playing this dude every single week, even though he's not really producing much. Travion Henderson. So it might be worth taking a look at that. But it looks like there's not really too much competition to replace him with. Probably not going to throw in Rashad White over him. She's got Marvin Harrison playing tonight. And I wonder if Kelsey's going to actually do anything this year. Let's take a look at Ivan's team. Ivan's got very good and healthy Gibbs, but he is playing Cleveland, so that could be a tougher one. As you saw the Packers get rumbled last week, and the Ravens shut down Derrick Henry the week before. Ashton Genty, this would be a great get-right game for him. Otherwise, I think Ivan might lose his mind. Ted McMillan and Ricky Pearsall are great plays. Chig, love it. I love Chig. I don't know how he'll do, but pretty encouraging. 4.66 targets to start the year. to dart throw kind of play. Quinshaw Judkins. I always say his name wrong. Quinshawn Judkins. There we go. In his 2 games, he's gotten over 10 in both, so you gotta like the looks of that. I'm not gonna predict the winners just because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. It doesn't matter anyway. We're just going over the rosters. Tito taking on Christovist. Great QB matchup. If Baker plays, looks like he's trending to play. If he's practicing on a Thursday, that's what you want to see. Marion Hampton, can he continue his success after last week's bounce back and Najee Harris getting injured? Christian McCaffrey on the other side, lights out. Pacheco, ugh. AJ Brown played better last week, but ugh. Cuba and St. Brown, very consistent players. Drake London. Is Michael Penix going to figure it out? I don't know. Terry McLaurin, don't like that start at all. He's hurt, and I don't think Jaden Daniels will be back this week, so that's kind of suspect. Tucker Kraft should be able to put up some numbers. And Roma Dunze, I've changed my opinion on him. Turns out he's pretty good with 16, 32, and 15 in his first 3, including a touchdown in every single game, 4 on the season. Wide receiver 3 on the year. Tito's got to be pretty psyched about having him on his roster. And this may not look like an advantage, but I feel like Brandon Aubrey over Joey Sly is an advantage. You can see he's number 3 on the year, and Sly, let's check him out. He would be number 2. Fuck me. Okay, never mind. What am I saying? I fucking knew he'd be number 2 or some bullshit. Anyway, Hunter Henry, Deebo Samuel. Kind of like those players as well. Kyle versus Evan. Not that important of a game. Obviously, every game's important, but 3-0 versus 2-1. I guess more important for Kyle, but Evan's just kind of sitting pretty at his 3-0. Jaden Daniels, let's take a look. Practices again Thursday. And they are playing against Atlanta. So even if he is mostly healthy, they still might sit him because Marcus Mariota got it done last week. But Jaden Daniels is healthy. Obviously, you're going to be playing him. Brock Purdy also nicked up. Limited Wednesday. I expect him to sit. They're 3-0, so they may not be hurrying him back. And Mac Jones has been good enough to lead them, at least, I think, last week, maybe the week before. I don't quite remember. Achane and Robinson, 2 of the best in the game. Stevenson and Etienne, 2 players that come into the season, I was like, woof, but Etienne's figured it out. And Ramondre had a RB, I think he was RB6 in week 2. So that's a pretty high ceiling if he can hold on to the football. Jefferson, underwhelming start. Devontae Adams, king of pushing off in the end zone. Not really, but he did push off last week. I'm sure you guys saw that. Hey, Tucker. Dude's number 4 on the season. Pretty fucked up. But that'll happen when you go for 8, 145, and 3. Fucking disgusting. Watch him only get like 8 points this week. Who knows? Goddard over here against McBride. Good matchup. Evans receivers are looking juicy. Garrett Wilson and JSN are both playing better than I thought they would this year. Makes sense for JSN, but I'm a little surprised for Garrett Wilson. I know he's got all the volume that you're going to want in the Jets offense, but I don't think it's a very good offense. Their starter, Justin Fields, is a running quarterback, and their backup, Tyrod Taylor, is a running quarterback. So it's like, when's he going to get his points? But he's been getting them. 22, 9, and 24. Even the 9-point week's not like a complete dud. My team could tell you about that. Jordan Mason, phenomenal start last week against Cincinnati without Aaron Jones on the field. So I expect him to be a good start this week again, too. Moving on to Hayden versus Matthew. This is do or die for Matthew. And I mean, pretty much same circumstances for Hayden. Luckily, Hayden does have one victory versus David Montgomery. Fucking. Uh, I'm sad. Okay, anyway. Mahomes versus Knicks, two AFC West quarterbacks. I give the slight advantage to. Probably dumb to say Knicks, but I'll say Knicks. He's against Cincinnati. They're not a good defense. But Mahomes is in a battle against Baltimore, so freaking whatever. He's been rushing more this season, too. I don't know. Jacobs lost his touchdown streak last week, but I think it's a pretty safe bet he gets in the end zone this week. He nicked up, it looks like. Limited, an ankle. I'm sure he'll be fine. Bucky Irving, let's see how he's been doing this year. 14, 18, 14. So some people have been saying he's been like but number 10 on the season, I would be okay with that as a Bucky Irving manager right now. But maybe not considering Guiley's 0-3. He's probably hoping for a little bit more from him. Dobbins, great running back. Brees Hall, someone I'm growing more fond on, but the numbers aren't going to jump out at you. He kind of looks like Tupac, low-key. Brian Thomas, yeesh. Quentin Johnson, somehow wide receiver 1 in LAC now. Weird. Juwan Johnson, love that. Montgomery, fuck you. Dang, he's repping the Lions. McConkey. So this is a big battle here between Quentin Johnson and McConkey. Whoever gets in the end zone is probably going to be happier. Ferguson, the wider tight end 1 on the season. Bet you guys didn't know that. Weird as fuck, but 12 targets, 14 targets. I guess that makes sense. Go Badgers. Zay Flowers. Let's see if he shows up this week like he did in week 1 and week 2. He's probably going to have a lot of disappearing acts through the weeks, so he's going to be a tough player to know when to play and when to bench. Moving on to our last matchup. Let's look at Carter and Carson going head-to-head. 2-1 battle. Right in the thick of it. I'm sure they're happy to be starting off the season 2-1. Lamar versus Herbert. Herbert is 7 on the year. Lamar is 8. Nope, 1. I was looking at his player number. Wow, Lamar's 1 on the season. This dude is balling out. Yeah, I guess I'd probably rather have Lamar, but sure Herbert will do just fine this week. Devontae, see if he regresses because the offense is going to be worse without CD, or if they just pass him the ball like 5 or 6 times this game and he gets his PPR points. And I don't know. I thought Javonte sucked, but apparently he's a pretty good player. Number 7 on the year at the RB position. And Saquon, looking like one of the slower starters in the first round right now. Number 13 overall at the running back position. Hopefully, for Carson's sake, Saquon picks it up a bit. Kyron, he's been having a good year. Cam Scattaboo, I know Carter's freaking hyped about starting him this week. His late round draft pick on him paid off. Malik Neighbors, interesting. Starting 2 Giants. That might bite him in the butt, considering they stink. Who knows what's going to come of Jackson Dart, but I wouldn't expect too much. Giants organization just kind of blows. Nico Collins, he'll be against Legarius Sneed, who is a shutdown type of corner. I guess he hasn't been the best this year, but he's given big name wide receivers trouble in the past, so that's something to keep an eye on. Tyreek Hill against the Jets. I feel like that's in seasons past would be a smash play. We'll see. Where is he at this year? Wide receiver 21. Carson drafted him to be his number 1, so he's Jesus. Why is his neck so thick? This man is hideous. Anyway, Michael Pittman, dude's balling out. Number 12 on the season. He was going way late in the draft. Sam Laporta, meh. Harold Fanning, probably decent play. Metcalf versus Warren. That's also slightly interesting at the flex. Fun one for this matchup at 8:30 a.m. on Sunday. They're playing in like Ireland or some shit, so that'll be exciting. And I didn't go over any kickers or defense really, so we're gonna leave it at that. Anyways, the league's looking good. I'm excited to keep playing this year. I'm really hoping I don't drop to 0-4. Otherwise, probably screwed for the season, but I'll always be putting in my best starting lineup anyways. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying these. I don't know if you're even watching them, but I think it's a fun thing to do for you guys and fun for myself too. So good luck this week, and I'll catch you next week.